on.
Yay!
Wow, that was iffy. I don't know if I need to have my Wi-Fi looked at or what, but this is just getting very suspicious these last few chats. But welcome everyone. I am Sharisa, and I'm with Charm City Readers. I'm the founder of Charm City Readers, a Facebook reading community, and I'm here with the amazing Ryan Hale. Ryan, thanks for joining.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Ryan is the author of the Blake Franklin Investigation series, which I have now read all of them. There are 8. I'm going to go through them. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 go cat go. Look, I'm not going to look at my notes. 5 will get you 10. 6 degrees of desperation. 7 murder in paradise.
7 seals.
8. Oh,
Ah!
and 8 murder crosses the border, which I just read and which we'll be talking about tonight. So, wow, that was an incredible ride. And I just want to, this is sign language clapping. I want to clap for us because we've made it this far. Ryan and I had this idea back in April that I would read through all the books in preparation for the launch of 8, which was October 28th, right? So we're about a week over. Yeah.
Yep.
So Ryan, for anyone who's just joining, we have done chats on all the books already, and they are on YouTube. So you can check them out on our YouTube channel. But give us an overall summary of the Blake Franklin Investigations series first. High level.
Okay. So Blake Franklin is a former Fort Worth police officer, and he fails the detective examination 3 times. And out of frustration, he decides to become a private investigator with the help of a wealthy uncle. So he goes off on his own, and his first case is a case that presents as elderly fraud that turns into something a whole lot worse than that. He's to me he's kind of like a Magnum PI with a pickup truck rather than a Ferrari. And he's a white hat kind of guy, and he just wants to help people and do the right thing. He wanted to get it into a situation where he could serve and protect at a higher level than he was as a patrol officer, and becoming a PI has done that for him. And his cases have taken him here, there, and everywhere. They started locally, and then they spread out across the country on and even across the Pacific to the island of Guam. And in this one. In 8, he comes back and he's helping somebody with a border situation that takes him across state lines again. And I think the arc of the character and the arc of the storyline is that each one gets more harrowing than the last. And this was the heaviest yet.
Yeah, so we talked before about how they were getting increasingly. I love how you word to use harrowing. I was using violence, but harrowing is a much better word because it's not. I mean, they're violent at times, but they're not just crazy violent. Your nerves are on edge the whole time. But this one, Ryan, to me, blew everything away. I think this is your best yet, no doubt. I was tied to it. I know Katie said she was reading it too, and she was absolutely tied to it. Hat tip to Katie, our author friend. But I mean, it has everything, right? It has love. So Rob's got a love interest, and of course, Blake and Tristan. We have heroism, shootouts, car crashes, helicopters, kidnapping, of course, because that's sort of what it's about. Murders, a little bit of abuse. Trigger warning for some abuse, but it's not very detailed. Yep. Crooked cops, cartels, coyotes. I mean, everything. Did you make a list of everything that should be in a crazy novel and just check them off as you went?
No, I'm sorry. I'm still a pantser, and I made it up as I went along, and I kept thinking, how would they get across the border? How would they do this? And what would happen if they went into another state where their licenses weren't good? What would happen if they ran into some dirty cops that were on the payroll of the cartel? And just all of it sort of unfolded just one step at a time.
I just remember after the first car, I'm going to call it a car chase. It's not exactly a high speed 90 mile an hour car chase, but after the first car chase, and there's I'm not going to get into detail how it ends. I was I remember looking at the page count being is this book almost over? Because there was such a climax. but there are like 10 of those. Like, just when you think it can't get worse or more intense, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're located in Texas, and I'm clearly in Baltimore in the Mid-Atlantic. Are these stories about like people crossing the border and human trafficking like regular on the news too? Because they are not here.
Yeah, they used to be. You'd hear about it all the time, and there'd be
All the time.
they would pull over semis that would be full of illegal immigrants, and some of them would be dead from exposure
Oh my God.
inside these things, coming across in the wintertime or coming across in the summertime when it's 110 degrees outside and it's 140 inside those trucks. I mean, it's just horrible the way they're treated. And I tried to not let my personal politics play into my writing. I look at things from just a human standpoint, and I don't want to see anybody abused, and that's the case with these people. There's a lot of people who are wanting to find a better life for themselves, and they're abused on their way up here. They're abused by the system. They're turned away sometimes, and sometimes they get caught up into the human trafficking situation like these folks. So it's just wrong. So
Well, I think that was one of the surprising things for me in considering is that we hear about some of the worst cases, right? Some of the cases that become political, where celebrities or someone who wants to make a statement gets involved. But you're in Texas and you're hearing, well, not as much anymore, but you were hearing about these commonly. Like it's just such a different world than the world I live in Maryland and not near the border.
yeah. Well, and so
how much of the story? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say my grandson went to college at down in the valley, and that's one of the worst areas for the crossings, and so crime in that area was just off the charts, and as soon as he was able to, he entered the portal and because he was a basketball player, and so he entered the portal and got on with a different university to play basketball, but it's just, you just hear a lot of terrible stuff. There were some bad people coming over, but there's also some good people coming over that get caught up in a very, very bad situation.
So, without getting into details on which scene or whatnot, like how much of this was based on things that were normally heard, right? Like obviously people being held in semi trucks is fairly normal, but I don't know how much of the different scenes and aspects you kind of dreamt up. What would it be like versus you heard?
Yeah, no, none of what's in this book is stuff that like I took out of the news or anything like that. It's all just made up as I went
from the
along.
headlines.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have a very good imagination, as we already know. Okay, so in this story, we have two kind of overlapping timelines, and it's a little different because I noticed in this story, and I don't think you could have, the main storyline was so intense that I think if you would have jumped off and been like, and this is a gadget they're working on back at the office, it would have felt odd because you're just sort of like anxious about what's happening. So you limited your subplots kind of. You only had kind of the two main stories going on. And one was,
and I actually changed that. I was about halfway through the book. I had so much on that subplot that I decided to pull it out, almost all of it, and that's going to be part of 9 Lives. So the whole thing with the movie star. There's a little taste of that, but there's going to be significantly more of that in 9.
Okay. No, because I definitely was like, where's this going? And then we'd flip back to the main storyline, and I kind of forgot about it because I was like so intertwined with the drama that was happening. So for readers, one of the storylines is Blake, who's our private investigator, who's chasing a cartel in search of a client's niece and nephew. That is the main storyline. And then there's a secondary storyline with Rob and Raquel Vargas, who is famous, this famous celebrity. Are they visiting? It was in Mexico. Where are they going? Ooh.
Well, they went to Mexico. They'll end up in Argentina, but they also went to El Salvador.
El Salvador, that was it. So
Yeah.
I that's why I got it confused, because I'm like, there's another Central American country in there that I'm missing. Okay, because I did notice that it was quite more, and there. So you had a subplot to that initially that was more, and in the end, it's sort of woven back in as a secret mission.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
So I just wanted to focus more on the kids' situation and Blake and his team.
Yeah, that was for a mother. That was hard. But again, to readers, there's nothing terribly graphic that you can't handle. It's just, it rips at your heartstrings. It pulls at them. So overall, the story is pretty graphic. I was trying to think, like, just for fun. Gosh, that's a terrible way to look at it. Like, is there anything you avoided? Like, no one got beheaded. Like, did you write anything in that you essentially then wanted to take out, or did you make like choices on the kind of violence that they would do?
No, I didn't take anything out. I see, and one of the people that I've already gotten a review that didn't like the fact that there's a couple of F-bombs in the book. And I do, for the first time ever, I put a trigger warning in the front of the book. I didn't expect that with murder and kidnapping and rape and cartel violence, that an F-bomb would be the most upsetting thing. But it was. But somebody said after the second book that everything goes right for Blake. There's not enough bad things happening to him. It's not realistic. I think this book is more realistic than possibly those first two. But I mean, you're dealing with a cartel, and there's some bad people there.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna come back on that question in a minute, because I wanted to go down a line of questioning there. But one of the things I liked about your last book, the last book takes place in Guam. Part of it takes place in Guam, and you mentioned that living in Guam as a teenager gave you the perspective of being a minority. And so therefore you've always then had the ability to step back and say, like, wait a minute, what's the situation really like for all the people involved? Did that play here? As, I mean, you're an American, you're a Texan, people are crossing the border, but like you've already said, and thank you for being the lovely person you are, like, these are humans, these are children. And so you take your politics out of it, you know what I mean? And like, you're just concerned for the people. Like, exactly. It seems to me that connects with you here and kind of who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, like I said, I try to keep my. No, go ahead.
You go ahead. Yeah. I can hear a dog.
Yeah. Next door. Oops.
Okay. Were you going to say something about minority, and being able to kind of?
Yeah, no, I was just going to reiterate that I try to keep my politics out of it. I mean, I certainly, my mind said when I'm thinking politically, it goes one way, but when I sit and think about situations in real life and that sort of thing, I have to think of the human side of it, and that's what I try to have come across in the books.
Yeah, no, you do a great job. Because there's so much about immigration these days, and the right and the wrong of it and the policy of it, but not a whole lot, at least from where we stand up here, like on the victims, right? That's one reason, as someone mentioned, and you and I have talked about it before, that book American Dirt by Janine Cummings is from like the victim's perspective. So just being able to like take all the politics out of it and taking care of the people is a huge, like, visual, I guess, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I just got that book today, so I haven't started reading it yet, but
there was some what is it called? I think some people questioned it, some people liked it, some people didn't like it, but I think it's moving regardless of whether or not you think that it's all particularly true or not. So I think I'm not going to say you'll enjoy it, but I think you'll appreciate it.
Okay.
So
Good.
going back to Blake, you talked a little bit, this was the circle back question that I was saying, about the woman who said, or the reader who said that everything goes right for Blake. One of my questions was like, how has his moral compass changed throughout the series? Because in the beginning, the first book has some horrible crimes, no doubt. It's not like, Candy Stripers, right? It's hard. But the gravity of the violence and the crime increases. And this book by far is like more, I don't know, I called it like a thriller action adventure, right? More, because it's just almost nothing goes right for Blake. So how when we have this guy who feels so strongly about right and wrong, like how is that affecting him in his person, in his marriage, in his private life, now that he's done this book? Because this book pushed every line.
Yeah. So in the first book, it was mentioned that in 9 years of being a patrol officer, he never discharged his weapon, and he's been reluctant to pull his weapon or anything at all, through the first 8 books, or first 7 books. In this one, he has to, and it's not something that he relishes, but it's something that he's forced into, and he has to. 9 will talk more about the aftermath of that and how it affects his life. But the biggest thing with his private life is that Tristan is wanting him to get out of the line of fire. She's not happy about that at all, and especially with the development within their family. She never wants to look across the table at the empty seat like my sister-in-law had to. So
yeah,
it'll be there'll be some changes coming. So,
well, that's I was going to ask, my next question was, what kind of psychological toll does this have on him? Like you speculated. Well, no, I'm speculating at the end based on, I'm trying not to give spoilers here. Based on how it ends, there are hints of lasting implications for Blake. And like, he's such a good guy. Like, what kind of toll does that take on a person that just wants to do right by people when now you've got people targeting you?
yeah.
Like, how's he going to handle that? I guess we need to read 9.
Yeah, exactly. You have to read it. Yeah, 9 lives will go into some of that, and this the cartel is larger than 4 guys in a truck. So there's going to be some implications down the line. So
seriously, was it only 4 guys that whole time? It feels like they multiplied. Like, those games you play with kids where like it crosses like a line and they turn into 50? It did not feel like 4.
Yeah. Yeah, but just really bad
how
guys.
many good guys were? Yeah, how many guys were on Blake's side? Okay, so who did he take with him? He took Blake, Rob.
No, not Rob. Rob was with Raquel.
No, Rob was okay. Blake.
So it was Blake and Tinker, Langley, and
Tinker,
and
Langley.
and Diego, and then Randy Toles.
Okay. And
but
then
Diego,
they've got the helicopter link.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's
Then
7 to 4.
Yep.
Right.
But that's initially
like,
because there were.
I don't want to say they destroyed them, but I mean they were fierce.
Yeah, they were, and there was more once they got to Arizona.
We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
No, what'd you just say again? Because we had it might have been just me. Maybe I froze, and now everything's fine. But I said there was 7 to 4.
Yeah, and then there was more once they got to Arizona.
Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh right. I keep wanting to say things and like then I like back up because yeah. I don't want to run it. So in book 8 or in historically Blake has always wanted to like all right, how do I say this? He's such a right wrong kind of guy, although he was stepping outside of a lot of legal boundaries early as one. But in book 8, he sort of became of the mindset of apologize later. What's that phrase? Like do now and apologize later. I can't remember the phrase.
Yeah, it's
right?
easier to get
he was more
forgiveness
willing
than permission.
to like say, yeah. He was more willing to go that route. Like, was it just necessity of the book and the situation, or like is this now an evolution of his character that he's going to be more risky, that he's going to be more daring, that he's going to be?
I think that he was just as committed to helping in this case as he is in any case, but what he ran into, because he tried to involve the police, he tried to involve law enforcement, so like you take him down and we'll take care of him, but ran into problems and realized he couldn't rely on his network of support that he usually would, so that he had to go it alone.
Well, and the question is, does he go back to the way he was as a right, wrong rule follower, or does this have a lasting impact on his style of investigating?
Yeah, I don't think that he really swayed off of that at all. I think he's still right and wrong, but if he knows that he's not going to get the right kind of support to complete the mission, he's going to complete the mission, and just like you said, get forgiveness later. But I mean, he tried to involve federal agencies. He tried to involve the local police. He tried to do the right thing, but wasn't able to.
I just want to know: did he ever get paid?
oh yes he did. Yes he did. Yeah, Diego is a very wealthy man.
I'm sure maybe it even happened at the end, but if it did happen in the book, I was like, my mind was already blown by that point. So I was like, the whole time I'm like, this is an expensive trip.
It isn't mentioned, and it's not mentioned in the book. It's just implied because Diego is a very wealthy man. So
free car washes for life.
Yeah,
they add up.
Yes, yes they do.
Texas. It's dusty down there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, do you have pollen down there? Do you guys get pollen on your cars?
Oh yeah, but we have more dust than pollen in this area. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of construction dust.
So that would be a lot, If Tristan and Blake get free car washes for life, that adds up.
Sure. Yeah.
So, in reflection, and I know this is going to just hurt your feelings, I thought, you know what? This would make a really good TV series. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
I know. Yeah. I know, because you're that guy. You wish, but I mean, I was like, okay, now that I've seen it through 8, and I know there's even more coming, like there's a progression all the way around. The business grows, Blake grows, right? New characters come in. I think it was The Wire. Did you ever watch The Wire? Got grittier, the deeper you got into it. And that was only 4 seasons? I'm like, you have 8 seasons here already that could easily be a TV series. Like, wow. Really?
That wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. I would love to see, and they're actually doing a lot of TV production real close to here.
So if it was a TV series,
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
See? Yeah. Who would play Blake? What character do you see playing Blake?
Oh.
Who would play Blake?
Let me think about that. I mean, it would have to be.
That I don't think
I can't think of any actors right now. I mean, it'd have to be like a really young Tom Selleck or something like that. And I don't know if there are any more young Tom Sellecks.
The mustache is back. You
Yeah.
see young people with it now.
Yeah.
I guess you have a mustache. You just have a mustache. You don't have a beard.
Yeah. I shaved the beard. That was in honor of Tinker.
Was it in honor of Tinker? Oh, Tinker. So, readers, if you like Tinker, this one's going to be hard for you. I mean, good but hard. Good but hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tinker sees a lot more than maybe he wanted to see this late in his career in this book.
He's an action oriented.
I won't lie. He is, and I don't know. Like, it might be time for him to quiet down, but I don't know. Like, although you do have a way of having your characters stay involved, but take a lesser seat. You know, with like John being now like, what is he, like, head of operations, and maybe not so involved in the violence and the gunfire. So you do have a way to keep your characters around, but keep them safe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe Tinker.
Yeah. There's a way. Yeah.
Okay. There is a way. I mean, I won't lie here. I was like, where does he go from here? So you've been to the East Coast. You've been to the ranches. You've been to Nevada. You've been, like into. But this book is in 4 states, right? 4 states. Yeah.
Texas, New Mexico. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
4 states. You've been down into Central America. I heard you say Argentina, so that may be coming. Guam. I was like, where does he go now? Canada? I mean, like, where on earth can Blake go?
We went to Montana. I mean, he's got all those jets. He can go wherever he wants. But
I know,
the next
but
one,
like, to build. Go ahead.
I was going to say 9. He stays in Texas.
He does. Okay,
yeah.
But also from like a energy point, right? Like this was so wild. Like, I'm just really super interested in how you're gonna raise the bar, because I mean, I've got to say, like I honestly think, Ryan, this is the best one yet. This one is excellent. It is excellent. And it had me going minute to minute, like night to night reading it. It is amazing. They're all good. But this one raised the bar quite a bit. And I just am really interested to see where you're going to take it from here. Tell me about the epilogue.
Okay. So part of that was true. The Clyde Barrow really did try to rob banks in Denton, and in fact, he robbed an auto place that was right down the road from where my restaurant is, and he and his brother broke in, and they couldn't open the safe, so they ripped the safe out of the floor and loaded it in their car, and then the police were chasing them, and they crashed at a house where Patchouli Joe's is located at 221 Hickory, which is directly behind my restaurant.
Wow.
And so I thought I read about that, and I thought I need to include this. So, I like Joe at Patchouli's and Diane, and so I wrote them into it and had fun with it.
So it's not a spinoff, and it's not 9.
Oh no. But 9 will have a Denton connection though. And
well,
and
they
I
all
have
do. I mean, someone's going to eat in your restaurant.
Yes. But in 9 I'm going to introduce a character that is going to be a spinoff. And she's a private investigator that's based in Denton. You are frozen again.
I think we lost a little connection there, and I gotta fix this if it's on me. She's a what? Sorry, she's an investigator.
I'm not. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh goodness, this is terrible, Ryan. If this is me,
Now
I
I
got to
can
get
hear
it
you.
fixed, and I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just assume it's me, and next time we chat or I chat with anybody, I'm gonna have to be in a different room. But you were introducing a new character, and then it cut out. So maybe everybody else heard you and I didn't. But you're introducing a new character, and
Yeah, I'm introducing a new character, and she is a private investigator based in Denton, and that
okay,
character will be a spinoff series of books.
and it's a female. Interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. No, because I know you talked to me last time about a spinoff or two.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
must
there's
have
actually
a few on the brain.
yeah. There's Rob, or I'm sorry, not Rob. Randy is going to
Randy.
spin off also. Yeah. So he
Okay.
and Beverly and Quinn, the helicopter folks, that's gonna spin off in a different direction as well.
Oh my gosh, that helicopter bit was so fun. Although I kept thinking, like, doesn't anyone need this helicopter? Like,
Yeah. Well, they did have to drop him off. They dropped him off and had to head to the hospital. So it happens.
But then they came back for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like they go like transplanted, took an organ from like point A to point B, and then they were like, let's go back and get him.
Yeah. Hey, let's go get Randy. Yeah. 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 Because they're Marines, and that's what
All
they
right.
do.
Well, you haven't seen my
What?
No, they're tough ladies. And then it's a love interest too, which is super duper exciting.
Yes.
Are you ready for the review?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with our Wi-Fi. If it's me, I will get it fixed. I commit that to you. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to add your review to the stage. You haven't seen this. Boom. I'll read it to you. Again, this was my favorite by far, Ryan. Ryan Hale's 8 Days a Week takes the Blake Franklin investigation series to a whole new level of adrenaline. This installment trades the calculated mystery for a full throttle action and adventure, and it's a roller coaster from the first chapter to the last. It's chilling, unpredictable, and completely addictive. Blake and his team barrel across state lines in a nonstop chase to bring down a dangerous cartel via cars, vans, motorcycles, RVs, hat tip, and even helicopters. Like shootouts? Check. Dramatic car crashes? Check. Drones? Night vision? Heart-pounding suspense? Triple check. This story has the pulse of an action film with the heart of a great crime series. 8 Days a Week is hands down my favorite installment yet, and I'm proud to say that Hale delivers. Highly recommended.
Wow. Thank you very much.
So good, Ryan.
Appreciate
I want
that.
you to be so proud because it is epically excellent. And
I appreciate
I think
that very much.
Did Katie review it yet? Oh, why can't I get this back? Well, I mean it. I don't know if Katie reviewed it yet. Did she review it yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, we'll have to wait for Katie's feedback. I did request the whole series to be added to our Baltimore County Public Library. They did not get back to me in time, but I want people up here to be able to read your series. So I did request that, and hopefully it'll come through, and I can tell you that when it happens. Yeah.
Very nice.
So very excited. Tell us how 9 is coming.
9 is coming along pretty well. I've had to stop the last few weeks because of activity at the restaurant, but I'm well into it, and I'm also working on my Crossing Big Coal River book. I've got it almost complete. I'm working on editing that, so that's the next thing I want to finish. And but yeah, 9's coming along. I would expect it. 9 will probably be like a March or April release, something like that. So.
Okay, so we get to talk about it again.
Love to.
When our Wi-Fi is working better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ryan, I'm sorry for all the crazy Wi-Fi tonight, but please know from the bottom of my heart how much I enjoyed reading this series so far, and how proud I am of you. This last one was amazing, epic. I mean, it raised the bar in so many ways. I mean, you don't need me to be proud of you, but like so highly recommended because it was an absolute, like, it was just a wild, wild ride. And it was great. And I'm proud of you. And thank you for allowing me on this journey with you because it's been so
Thank
wonderful.
you. It was very nice having you come along. I appreciate it very much.
And we're not done. We just have to slow down a bit. We're not going to talk every month now.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If I can get that restaurant under control, I'll get back to writing full time. So.
Hey, you call me about what we talked about before, right?
Oh,
Let
I will.
me help you a little bit.
Absolutely, I will. I will.
Only to make time for your writing, because we all have priorities here.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Ryan, stay on for a minute. But thank you for joining us. This is an amazing series that starts with One for the Money. It is the Blake Franklin investigation series by our dear Ryan Hale, who has written over 20 books, honestly. And now I've read half, so I feel very accomplished as a reader. You can check out all of our interviews on YouTube. I think the handle is Charm City Readers. Charm City is actually the name of Baltimore, hence the name. But you can go listen to them there. We don't have too many spoilers, so you can get a little taste of the books and then read them through, and you'll be ready for the launch of 9 with me in March. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Ryan, and have a great night.
Thank you, Teresa. You too.